What is a textbook movie? The famous Hong Kong action actor Chan Ziao-hao, in an interview once said this paragraph: his son went to America to study film. One day the teacher was explaining the shooting techniques of action movies, didn't expect to show a clip. It was Chan Ziao-hao himself. Seeing your father in a textbook, this makes Chan Ziao-hao's son very proud, and this film is used as a teaching material. Fist of Legend with Jet Li in 1994. The golden age of Hong Kong cinema, countless action movies have been made. If Fist of Legend is the best, that's definitely controversial. But if Fist of Legend, it's one of the top 10 Hong Kong action movies of all time, that's bound to go down well with most of the audience. In fact, it is not only our domestic fans agree, even famous actors abroad. It is also a favorite movie. For example, the famous Hollywood director Quentin. I've watched Fist of Legend over 40 times. He can almost blurt out all the lines in the film. And famous Hong Kong director Chan Ka-shing. I was in Cannes for the film festival, by several young French men on their knees to worship because he made Fist of Legend. It shows how influential it is. Today Wang Feng will take a closer look. It's been called a textbook movie. Let's see what's so special about it. It made millions of people obsessed. Videos are long and difficult to make. Please subscribe if it's convenient.
日本是属于人民的，不是属于天皇，更不是属于军队。人民万岁！
黑龙会来了，黑龙会来了，快走，快走，快走！
You can see that from this opening. Fist of Legend doesn't make the Japanese look bad. They have adopted a dichotomous attitude. There are university students here who oppose militarism. There were also members of the Black Dragon Order, who espoused racism. Of course, Japan at this time, on the whole, fascism prevailed. A group of members of the Black Dragon Order came to school with a vengeance, to drive the Chinese out of Japan. Shenzhen is one of them. Professor Watanabe, who teaches the class, tried to block it, but he was pushed away. The glasses were trampled to pieces. Just then a girl stood out. He gave his name as Mitsuko Yamada. Blaming this group of people is just bullying. A student who can't fight back. I can't look at a woman and scold myself. The leader naturally felt embarrassed. He raised his hand to strike, but then Shenzhen suddenly stood up. He's got Mitsuko Yamada behind him. That opened up his role in the film. The first of 5 fights.
我数到3，你就给我滚！1、2、
This scene shows that Shenzhen is relatively rational. He knows you have to be careful on other people's turf. That's why it's a grab. Subdue the enemy in 1 or 2 moves, but not too much damage. The subtlety of the technique looks wonderful. Just a few seconds. This group was beaten black and blue. Recoil in horror. Professor Watanabe, who's afraid of getting killed, get out before the fight starts. This group of people's master ship Wenfu called over. He's the head of the Black Dragon Order, Japan's first bow master, to see that the apprentices were just stripped of their joints. I knew he was pulling his punches. There was no desire to pursue it further. He asked for his name. Upon learning that it was Chen Zhen from Fist of Fury, the ship over Wenfu's face slightly changed. With a little pity, he has just received a telegram from Shanghai. It was Hua Yuanjia, Chen Zhen's teacher. He was killed and aged with the Japanese samurai Ryuichi Akutagawa. After learning the news, Shenzhen could not bear to get up and go home. On the way to the pier, Mitsuko Yamada kept following him and asking him if he'll ever come back to see him again.
等他们离开中国，回到日本的时候，我就会回来找你。
可是，日本人到青岛打的是德国人呢。
你要搞清楚，青岛也是中国的领土，日本人跟德国人都是侵略者。
Shenzhen's words were indeed of the time, a portrait of the hearts of millions of patriots. In order to shoulder the mission of the times, they tend to give up love. After a few days of wandering, Shenzhen finally returned to Shanghai. As the saying goes, everyone pushes the wall down. Hua Yuanjia after the defeat to the Japanese. Fist of Fury also immediately from the scenery boundless. He became the laughingstock of his countrymen. When Chen Zhen said he was going to Fist of Fury, even the driver said with disgust, if you want to learn Kung Fu, don't go to Fist of Fury. There is no future there.
精武门一定有前途，你等着看。
And it's not just those on the outside who are talking. Even in the martial arts world, after hearing that Hua Yuanjia had died, have also come to the Fist of Fury challenge. I want to use this place as a stepping stone. Chen Jin just walked in the door. I saw a foreign fighter to challenge Hua Yuanji's only son Hua Ting'an, but Hoding wasn't bad either. These foreign kung fu, how could she be a match for the tracer? It won't take much time. The man was struck down many times, though he eventually gave in, but the heart is still strong. He snorted and turned away. Thousands of years of Chinese history, there's never been a shortage of them. They don't have much to offer. Always wanted to challenge the pros. After losing always oral heart disobedience. After all, it's not going to work. When this drama is over, Chen Jin entered the funeral hall. Give master a stick of incense when the mourning clothes are offered, said Nong Jinsun. Chen Jin cannot wear hemp and filial piety without his surname Hua, but Hoding thinks Chen Jin was raised by her father. You're actually a part of the Hua family. When a lot of people watch this clip, you don't really care, but this detail cannot be removed. Because of these words, he explained Nong Jinsun's character. Let the audience not know. I knew he was old school, and for his subsequent actions, provide rationality. Chen Jin dressed in mourning clothes, with a sad heart. He took down the word endure that master had written before, lit one palm in front of master's tablet, expressed his dissatisfaction with the traditional spirit of tolerance. Then he ignored Evrian's attempts to dissuade him, arrived at Hongku Dojo alone, revenge on the man who shot Shifu. Thus began the second of 5 fights.
中国之物不可以进皇口道场，出来！
这是中国人的地方，是中国人就可以进来。
混蛋！
This scene is really fast and furious, and it's very powerful. Chen Jin is basically a one-trick without dragging your feet, and you can see it in there. He's not the guy he was in the last fight. This time he abandoned his masters, endure. There's almost no qualms about doing it. Pick one's mouth, there is no need to catch Yin. Eventually, of course, he spared the last one, because he knows why he's here today, not to lecture these little boys. His real target is Ryuichi Akutagawa. Sure enough, the fight broke out and Ryuichi Akutagawa was alarmed. As a traditional samurai, he decided to have a fair fight with Chen Jin, to investigate the truth. Chen Jin also specifically chose to fight Ryuichi Akutagawa with the Hua family fist. It was just a short time ago, Chen Jin took advantage of his opponent's weakness, knocked it back with a single punch. In the ensuing showdown, Chen Jin is even more condescending, forced Ryuichi Akutagawa repeatedly defeated. He even got his ear cut off. It aroused his anger. Have Ryuichi Akutagawa do his best, but after all, there's a big gap with Chen Jin. It can only end in defeat. Seeing each other do their best, are no match for their own. Chen Jin knew the strength of Ryuichi Akutagawa is far inferior to his master. Then, there must be something wrong with Shifu's death. After leaving Hongku Dojo, he summoned men to open the coffin for his master, but it's a big no-no. So Nong Jinsun was very much against it, but Chen Jin insisted on it, with all his heart. He couldn't stop it, and the results surprised everyone. Hua Yuanji's liver did find toxins. He was not killed by Ryuichi Akutagawa. The crowd returned to Fist of Fury. There's a lot of speculation about who poisoned it. Eventually it was limited to the inside of Fist of Fury, and Uncle Gin in the kitchen. When he heard Nong Jinsun had doubts about himself, he just swore, yelling at him not to eat his own food. Chen Jin saw this situation. Uncle Gin has been cooking at Fist of Fury for decades, hardly an inside job. And Hua Yuanji usually eats with everyone. He was the only one who was poisoned. Then it is certain that there is no poison in the food. So he made peace with both sides. And what kind of toxin did Master die from? We're still waiting for the forensics to come back with concrete results. The life of all people in Fist of Fury, and I'm slowly getting back to normal. Only Holden was very unhappy, because Chen Jin defeated Ryuichi Akutagawa, so it was an idol for all the teachers and brothers in the museum. They all gathered around him to study.
这样踢哪有力啊？我告诉你啊，日本武术里啊，有一种侧踢，虽然很简单，可是速度很快，威力也很强。
吴师兄，踢给我们看看嘛！
对啊，快点，好，是的，让我们看看啊！来，站好。
To my fellow teachers and brothers, teaching the Hua family Kung Fu philosophy outside boxing, This makes the traditional conservative Nong Jin-sun a little bit upset, and even some foreign martial arts people, also named to find Chen Jin to learn. This makes the owner of the real hall, Mr. Hoding, feel embarrassed, so he ran to the brothel, find his lover Small Red to relieve sorrow, and here at the Hanku Dojo, the defeated Ryuichi Yutagawa was full of sorrow. He went through Chen Jin's mouth. I know I'm no match for Hua Yuanjia. He was able to win the duel. Someone must have tampered with it. So they found the head of the military Fujita just, asking if he arranged the poisoning. Fujita Tsuyoshi was not ashamed to face questioning. Instead, he made a mockery of it.
大日本帝国到了今天，无论经济、科技、工业以及军事力量都大大的超越中国。原本希望你们这些学武的人能将中国的武术神话打破，可惜你们偏偏不争气。我们要插手，也是逼不得已。卑鄙！你不配谈武士道精神！哎，一个，
Fujita killed his own people. It's a cruel thing to do, and he was extremely adept at using power. Arranged for Ryuichi Akutagawa's death, it was blamed on Chen Jin, unaware of Hanku Dojo all. I saw Shifu killed. He took the weapon to the Fist of Fury, to avenge the master. Just then Chen Jin went out for a run. Ryuichi Yutagawa's apprentices pounced on a blank, but they have no intention of leaving, yelling at Fist of Fury to hand over Chen Jin. Hoding had been troubled for some time. I see the other side pushing me. He directly ordered people to close the door and hit the dog. The melee was no longer a stopgap. It's a never-ending hand-to-hand fight. It didn't take a moment. Fist of Fury is in chaos. There was no end in sight. Good thing when the Japanese came, Samone's already gone to the police station. At this time the concession police also arrived on the scene. After several shots were fired, the crowd finally stopped fighting. But the Japanese still wouldn't leave Fist. We need to find Chen Jin and avenge Shifu. Just then Chen Jin came back from running. He saw a field of wolves in the museum. Still not sure what's going on. They were brought back to the police station in the name of investigation. A few days later, Chen Jin stood in the dock of the court. The Japanese side tried to convict him, to find a few people to perjure themselves, but these people are clearly not in cahoots. Some say Chen Jin killed Ryuichi Akutagawa with a knife. Some say he killed Ryuichi Akutagawa with an axe. Make the crowd laugh, Chen Jin said to the judge. I was at Fist of Fury that night, his brothers can testify, but Japanese lawyers say, of course the Chinese will favor the Chinese. Chen Jin's schoolmates are inadmissible as witnesses. The trial stalled for a while, until a new witness comes forward, to break the ice, and she came to Shanghai from Japan, specifically to find Chen Jin Yamada Light Co.
那天晚上，他跟我在旅馆房间里头，一直都没有出去。
整个晚上。
是的。
如果陈真他趁你熟睡之后再偷偷溜出去的话，你不会知道。
可是他根本没有机会出去。那天晚上，我们两个在床上一直没有睡觉。
既然没有睡觉，那你们在干什么？
我们两个在床上没有睡，你说能干什么？
Although Yamada Mitsuko cleared Chen Jin, but what she said aroused public criticism. They accused her of being shameless, and all a Fist of Fury. I can't accept this Japanese guy. They all showed their disgust. Nong Jin-sun, a conservative, nature also echoed to persuade Chen Jin. Tell him not to do it for a Japanese woman, and ruin your whole life. This scene is not a martial act, but it's also brilliant. The film clearly points out that, it doesn't matter what decade it is, there will be many of them in our country, an irrational radical. They're talking to people who want to take Chen Jin, members of the Black Dragon Society, who were driven out of Japan. There are a lot of similarities. Hoding is the curator of Fist of Fury, to silence the crowd, and to vent the anger I've been building up for days. He directly asked to fight Chen Jin. If he wins, he'll be the director of Fist of Fury. If he loses, then you have to leave Mitsuko Yamada, a forced Chen Jin. I have no choice but to compete with Hoding. Thus began his third fight scene in the film. At the beginning of the battle, Chen Jin is not using her full strength, because he was Master's only son. He wants to give 3 points to his heart and reason, so it looks like the two sides are evenly matched. Hoding, however, did not hold back. The blows were fierce, the rocks were broken. It has a sense of life and death. Chen Jin has retained his strength, so gradually it got a little overwhelming. Seeing this, he increased his strength. With a few moves, Hoding's hands were seized. A blow went straight to his cheek, but it came down to the wire. Chen Jin still remembered the old feelings and stopped. But Hoding did not care. Take advantage of Chen Zhen's panic, just kick it to the ground. The kick didn't hurt Chen Zhen much, but the shouts of the teachers and brothers behind him, but it stung him deeply.
王靖文不需要进入日本口，大圣把他赶出精武门。大圣把他赶走，王靖文不需要进入人。
At that moment Chen Zhen decided not to stop. He's going to use his own punches, wake up all the people of Fist of Fury, let them know the self-defeating nation, and the world at large. In the end, Chen Zhen won the duel. Hoding made good on his promise to step aside. But Chen Zhen has no idea about the position, the reason he beat Houdini, to live up to Mitsuko Yamada, and he turned down the curator's job, in order to live up to Master's righteousness, love and justice. Be able to bend and stretch, Chen Zhen used force to tell his classmates. He woke Hoding up with his fist. Finally, he gave his master 3 heads. He left Fist with Mitsuko Yamada, but when he looked for a hotel to stay in, only to find no one willing to host them. Some even accused him of being a traitor. Have no way, Chen Zhen can only take Yamada. Light sun came to the master's grave. There is a thatched hut, in spite of the humble conditions, but it also keeps out the wind and rain. But Yamada Mitsuko came from a wealthy family, but did not suffer this kind of suffering. The rats in the house frightened her to death. Chen Zhen heart will inevitably have the feeling of guilt.
哎，我真是对不起你，竟然要你住这种地方。
我觉得这个地方很好啊。哦，你看风景好漂亮啊。其实住这里比住旅馆舒服多了。
你真这么想啊？那我带你去另外一个地方。
你真的要放弃精武门？
是精武门放弃了我，这样没有包袱，反而轻松多了。
可是这不像是你。
为什么？
你是在骗自己。没有精武门，你会觉得空虚，又怎么会觉得轻松？
It is difficult for a person to find a bosom friend, but Chen Zhen has found her best friend, not compatriots. It's someone from another country. In this particular age, the love between them will not be recognized after all. This way, Fist of Fury, Hoding, who never had a setback. After being publicly defeated, he disappeared. The hall is leaderless at the moment. Just then the Japanese came to the door again. It is said that the first master of the Black Dragon Club came to Shanghai. He's going to challenge the owner of Fist of Fury, but now Chen Zhen has left. Hoding is nowhere to be found. Where else is there to fight? There was panic in the museum. Even the person who poisoned Hua Yuanjia couldn't sit still. The original who followed Hua Yuanjia for decades. He's the one who did the poisoning. His son was arrested for a crime. There is a disciple named Xiang, said I could help him get his son out, but I need to do myself a favor. That's why Uncle Gin did what he did. But he didn't poison the food. He poisoned it with Hua Yuanjia's asthma medicine. That's why no one else has anything to do. Only Hua Yuanjia himself was affected. Xiang said to him at that time, the poison only affects Hua Yuanjia's kung fu skills. It won't kill anyone. I didn't think it would end up like this. Now Uncle Gin had some regrets. He started a fire on Xiang. See this? Xiang was afraid he would say anything. They do it all the time. He just strangled Uncle Root and made it look like he committed suicide. Let everyone think Uncle Root is the ultimate killer. This makes the already shaky Fist of Fury more precarious. And that night, a woman came to the door. None other than Red, the top dog in the brothel. It turns out that after the defeat of Hoding, despondent, he went to her to drown his sorrows. Although Xiao Hong is a courtesan woman, but for Hoding it was true. He was afraid that his lover would lose his future by falling so low. Came to the Fist of Fury, trying to get them to take Holden away. Nongjin-sun, a group of people came to the brothel. I found Houdin pretty drunk, and he used it to get crazy. Let off steam, incompetence. But wine does not cure sorrow. After he sobered up, you have to face the music eventually. After learning that the Japanese again under the Book of War, Hoding knew he was out of his depth, but as the son of Hua Yuanjia, he was brave enough to stand up to the battle, and Nongjin Sun put aside his prejudice, helped Small Red to redeem the body with her back to the Fist of Fury.
如果你们能对光子那么开明，那就好了。
Nongjin Sun did not listen, but Hoding's mind was full of thoughts. In the next few days, he began to drill hard, prepare for the upcoming competition, and the Japanese side sent the best. Is that and Chen Jin had a passing acquaintance of the ship Wenfu, but he himself did not know this. The letter of battle was sent by Fujita Tsuyoshi of the military. The ship over Wenfu naturally disdained to be pushed around. He came to China for the martial arts in his heart, instead of being someone else's pawn.
我只是个教头，不是走狗。
Who he really wants to challenge, you know, that really good Chen Jin. Through the news he learned that the other side, in the tomb of Hua Yuanjia. So I came here one morning. Thus began the film's fourth fight. The way I see it, this one, more than the final Armageddon. This fight started before the fight. It's a sign of things to come. The two sides will square off and fight. But the ship Wenfu asked Chen Jin, "What's the strongest punch?"
把全身的力量集中在一点爆发出来，就是最强权。
哎呦，打得蛮好看的，可是我从来就没见过石头会打人。你要知道，我们的对手是会动的人。
In fact, the ship Mor Wenfu is with Hua Yuanjia's martial arts contemporaries, hence his studies in martial arts is far deeper than Chen Jin. What he meant by this was to remind Chen Jin, the strongest punches are not limited to strength, because the opponent moves. When you're up against a tough opponent, there aren't that many opportunities for you to put all your strength into one punch. Of course, Chen Jin could be forgiven for thinking so. After all, he had rarely faced an opponent of his own level before. No matter who you hit, you're abusing your food. That's why the heaviest punch always hits. Then the ship Wenfu asked the strongest defense is what?
是进攻。与其尽力的防守，不如全力的进攻，在最短的时间击倒对手。
This is actually Chen Zhen's fighting style. That's clear from the previous matchups. Chen Jin is very aggressive when fighting, of course. He is also very good at defending, but he was really a man of aggression. This conversation ensued. The ship is like an old monk, riddles everywhere. Chen Jin was impatient, a little obsessed. On his third attempt, the ship over Wenfu said to stop the next activities. This is a blow. Decline again. The truth of exhaustion. I didn't expect to be used by a Japanese handy. Chen Jin was a little deflated after being interrupted several times. Did not expect this time the ship over Wenfu suddenly rushed up. Chen Jin was caught off guard and retreated one after another, but he has the advantage of age. He soon regained his form, start fighting back, and he is no longer limited to the use of Hua Jiao boxing, but to a more direct modern fight, though every move seems to have been flawed. But it's a deliberate attempt to lure opponents into a trap. A few rounds down the ship Mor Wenfu gradually unable to withstand, but he was an experienced master. The ability to react to situations is far more than normal. After seeing Chen Zhen's moves, he copied the art of fighting. The fight with Chen Jin had its ups and downs. The situation is back to the same starting point. It was hard to part for a while, but then the sand suddenly blew. The ship over Wenfu's eyes captivated. Chen Jin jumped at the chance. They hit each other in succession. Beat him up and down. It's a big advantage. But when he saw that he couldn't fight back, Chen Jin kept his fist closed. He pulled out strips of cloth and put them over his eyes. I won a fair fight with the ship. The same ship over Wenfu also tied up his eyes. Come to this moment. The battle between the two moves from pure martial arts to a battle of wits and courage. Chen Jin kicked out the thatch and tricked Wenfu into punching. He caught the gap and hit back, but Funetsu still maintains a learning attitude. He also took out a stone to strike sideways. Deceiving Chen Jin showed a flaw in his hand. Finally, Both sides play hard to get, one was caught between his legs, one was in a chokehold, kind of like you're gonna die forever, but then Chen Jin felt her partner's hand loosen. He folded his legs, too. The two men put an end to the fight by removing blindfolds. In the end, Chen Jin lost. After all, if neither side lets go, Ship Wenfu lost, will be legs, and he lost will be life, of course. If Chen Jin hadn't blindfolded and given up the advantage, and he's gonna win, too. After standing up, the two sides exchanged ideas. The Chinese pay attention to personal training, and the use of moves, don't usually pay much attention to actual combat, but Chen Jin thinks the target of the attack, it's a quick knockout, so Hua's fist is rarely used. But this has been the ship over Wenfu refuted.
你完全错了，年轻人，我告诉你，要击倒对方最好的方法就是用手枪。练武的目标是要将人的体能推到最高极限。如果你想达到这种境界，就必须要了解宇宙苍生。好了，我走了。
Look back at the beginning and end of the duel, can say the ship Mor Wenfu has been teaching Chen Sincere. He thought Chen Jin was right to pursue a single move against the enemy, but an individual's martial arts training is equally important. This kind of cultivation is not physical quality. It's the understanding of Bo, and the use of various traditional moves. There's only so much between China and the West. Depending on your opponent, make changes and use tactics accordingly. This is the true essence of martial arts. Late pound time, Chen Jin has her second guest of the day. Hoding, after he heard what his sister said earlier, they gave up their prejudices. Invite Chen Jin with Yamada Light Sun back to the Fist of Life, but Chen Jin would not go back, because he knew he wouldn't accept Mitsuko Yamada, not just Fist of Fury, some people in Shanghai and even the whole country. He wanted to protect the reputation of Fist of Fury, decided it was better to stay here. These words also found their way to Mitsuko Yamada's ears. Then Hoding said he had recently learned a boxing technique. Let Chen Jin do the same. Chen Jin was already gifted. It doesn't take much time. And he learned to do it. He felt it was similar to Hua's. Hoding said directly, this is the magic punch that never gets out. He has an appointment tomorrow at the Hongku Dojo. The future hangs in the balance. If something were to happen to you, then please Chen Jin pass on the boxing. This is a very generous act by Hoding. It proves that his mindset has changed. The Grand Master's aura was beginning to leak. Chen Jin returned to the thatched hut after seeing Hoding off, only to find that Yamada Mitsuko was nowhere to be seen. Just a goodbye letter.
对不起，我终于还是决定要走。人生有一些事比爱情重要。没有我在你身边，你能做的事更多了。遵守你的诺言，在日本军队回到日本的时候，我会在京都等你。
She knew that she was a burden to Chen Jin, so he decided to leave. That Chen Jin naturally will not disappoint her heart. The next day he returned to Fist of Fury, decided to go to battle with Hoding, two big guns at the same time. The crowd at Fist of Fury was thrilled. On the Japanese side, the ship didn't want to be pushed around. On that day, he competed with Chen Jin and returned home, and his replacement in the contest. It's the head of the military, Tsuyoshi Fujita, a young of the Fist of Fury. Did not know when he came here, he was just called out by Fujita and shot. And how he poisoned Hua Yuanjia, also by Fujita, just said it out, because he's not going to today, get Chen and Jen out of here alive, and then he told all the soldiers to leave. One man against the two masters of Fist of Fury, I can say it is extremely proud. And he held out a plaque that read, Sick Man of East Asia. To Fist of Fury, that was a direct irritation to Hoding. He went up and started fighting Fujita. However, the physical quality gap between the two sides is too big. His punches didn't do Fujita any damage. Instead, the other side's random kick directly kicked away. The original Fujita just weekday practice way. It means to be hit all over the body with a wooden stick. At the end of the practice can be directly into the wood. Crushed stone. It can be said that his martial arts training is not high. But my physical fitness has been perfected to the utmost. Focus only on traditional martial arts moves. Don't pay attention to actual combat and physical quality of Hoding. Certainly not his opponent. I saw the plaque being kicked off. Fujita just went straight to the attack, but Chen Jin caught her. Fly out with one kick. Although he is very strong physically, the kick didn't do him much harm, but it was enough to make Fujita understand. The adversary in front of us cannot be underestimated. And so it began, Chen Jin's final battle in this film. You can tell by the height, the gap between the two sides is huge. Chen Jin is clearly at a disadvantage. Fujita was the first to attack, but Chen Jin relied on faster speed. always able to dodge an attack and strike back quickly. His counterattack, however, might have worked for the average underdog, but it hit Tsuyoshi Fujita, but not much better than Holding, and Fujita just seized the moment. Catch Chen Zhen's fist with your chin. One kick knocked him to the ground. Then the onslaught began. Under the barrage of Fujita Tsuyoshi, Chen Zhen finally seized an opportunity. Ling Kong rolled over and kicked him down. The blow made Fujita cautious. He stopped attacking. It's about getting back on defense. In between blocking the attack, one punch knocked Chen Zhen down and regained the initiative. Then came another flurry of punches, finally knocked Chen Zhen to the ground. Fujita just smiled, and thought he had won. I didn't expect Chen Zhen to stand up again. After all, he is also very much focused on physical fitness. That's not enough damage to break him. Thus began the second round of the battle, but Chen Zhen knew the strength gap with each other at this time, so it's back to defense. To provoke Fujita into making the first move, then grab the gap and run to the other side, although the fist was blocked by the lattice. But Chen Zhen reacted immediately. Hit your opponent in the eye with a fist, take advantage of this opportunity. It was a series of big punches, and a flying kick that kicked Fujita out of the house. No matter how much physical effort, that will only make you an iron fist, but the eyes cannot practice. Chen Zhen grabbed his wound and attacked. Fujita tried to catch Chen Zhen under his chin again, but he lifted his head in pain from the snap of a finger. Chen Zhen hit him in the throat with a hand knife, then he threw it down on the steps. Fujita is not called a robot for nothing. I can get up again after this blow. And he punched himself in the face in anger, provoked Chen Zhen to come again. I didn't realize it was all part of his plan. Chen Zhen gave him a high kick to catch the gap. She fell straight down onto the flagstones. Chen Zhen was hit hard. It's starting to slow down a little bit. Got caught by Fujita Tsuyoshi again. A blow dislocated his shoulder. There's one less hand in the way. Chen Zhen, of course, couldn't cope. He was hit one after another. Fortunately, he seized the moment. A scorpion wagged his tail to win the game again. But in the end, Chen Zhen was no match for both hands. And then he took a couple of big punches. He can only watch his timing. Fly to Fujita just back to the house. Take advantage of the moment they get up. Chen Zhen supported the ground with one hand. The dislocated joint was reattached in a flash in agony. Then the fight between the two men entered the third round. Fujita wanted to take advantage of the opportunity to attack, but the sight has been blocked. Chen Zhen successively dodged and hit back at the key. Maybe it went too well. Chen Zhen gave away the flaw with a high leg lift. He was picked up by Fujita and fell to the ground. Then he tried to get the top knee out again. You're gonna break your opponent's spine. But the good thing is Chen Zhen is quick. Blue caught Fujita's neck. I threw him out with a bang. Now both sides have gone berserk. But Chen Zhen retains a shred of sanity. He still remembers Fumo Funika's perception of martial arts. Then began to look for Fujita just weak attacks. It's just not building muscle. Armpits that have no ability to fight blows. A few rounds down, Fujita Tsuyoshi, although the appearance cannot see the damage, but his hands and feet had lost all their strength. Even if I fight the pain to get up, but there was no escaping Chen Zhen's volley kick. Watching Fujita fall to the ground, Chen Zhen thought the battle was over. He picked up Houding to go back to Fist of Fury, but Fujita got up again. He drew a knife and killed Chen Zhen. Houding caught it in time, turned around and took a knife for Chen Zhen. A furious Tsuyoshi Fujita, senseless knife chase opponent, Chen Zhen in the process of dodge. Straight out of the belt with a jump back hand. It hit him right in the face. One is soft, the other is tough. One is sensible, the other is furious. The end result is predictable. Chen Jin thought that would be the end, but the Japanese do not speak martial arts. A group of soldiers rushed in, make them answer for Fujita's death, and then Nong Jin-sun also took the police station, rushed into Hanku Dojo to take to Chen Jin. The two sides were suddenly at daggers drawn. There's gonna be a lot of gunfire. Did not expect a Japanese suddenly stood out. He may be a high-ranking military official, but he was very much against the war.
他们想占领中国，
但是日本现在的情况就像一只很强壮的蚂蚁，想要吃掉一只在熟睡中的大象。大象不醒的时候，那只蚂蚁似乎有可能有点甜头，但是万一大象痛醒的话，就算是再强壮的蚂蚁，也绝对没有赢的可能。
Although he was against conflict between the two sides, but Fujita Tsuyoshi is a senior military official. His death will surely become Japanese militarism, an excuse to wage war against China. It's not gonna end without the killer.
好，那就牺牲我一个人。
果然不错，是个男子汉。
2 shots later, a body is carried out of the Hanku ashram. People lament Chen Jin as a national hero, but Chen Jin is not dead. Under a clever patrol arrangement, the one who got shot instead of him, a long-dead traitor Xiang, and Chen Jin to avoid the limelight, he has since left Shanghai. Whereabouts unknown, this was all that was left.
我们现在要去哪里呢？
你说我们中国什么地方日本人最多？
东三省啊。
那好，我们就去东三省打个痛快。
Jetless Chen Jin. It's a subversion of Bruce Lee Chen Jin. He's in the Fist of Legend. No more burning with anger like Bruce Lee. I kept my cool all the time. But Jetless Chen Jin. But it's a tribute to the real Bruce Lee, because of Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do. It's based on traditional martial arts. It's boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, and a series of world bow essence. And Jetless Chen Jin advocated the integration of Chinese and Western, and that's exactly what Bruce Lee said in real life, and that's the biggest difference between the two films. That's the core depth of the movie. Fist of Legend, though, the Fist of Fury, but on top of that, director and screenwriter Chen Jiasheng did not blindly spectrum the forces of all sides. There are sensible people on the Japanese side of this film. There were also those who opposed the war. On the Chinese side, there are also traitors and stooges, and those who do not recognize Mitsuko Yamada, and he also passed the role of Fumo, to convey the theme of the film to the audience. As soon as the character comes on, he told the disciples, violence cannot solve the problem. Talking about the death of Hua Yuanjia, and feeling, too bad I didn't get a chance to fight again. After learning that Fujita Tsuyoshi on his behalf, he also refused to take the fight. He wouldn't be pushed around, and then a private contract with Chen Jin, rather than a contest. It's more of a hand-me-down. Replace the death of Hua Yuanjia test Chen Jin study abroad, experienced the ship over Wenfu this war. Chen Jin is actually graduating. You can say the glory of this Japanese martial artist, even more than the real protagonist Chen Jin, like Hua Yuanjia. Chen Jin's master, look at the past and present, if you dare to say such a thing, that the Japanese teach the Chinese. So the character setting of this movie, there was an air above and below. So what if you have a strong opponent, only learn from him, surpass him, to show how strong we are? In short, The Fist of Legend is a classic and can be passed down, although when it came out that year, it didn't do well at the box office, but it settled down over the years. We'll find out whether a movie is a classic. It has nothing to do with box office, only movies that stand the test of time. It's a really good piece of work. Well, that's all time for today. Like friends, please click a subscription. I'll see you next time.